Hello students, so in today's function chapter we will be discussing about pass by value and pass by address and pass by reference. So in your textbook is actually written that pass by address and pass by reference in the same topic. Okay, however there's a difference between that. I'll explain that, but uh, how it is written in the topic you study like that. Okay, so passing values to a function. So in C++, in your textbook is written here two methods. Okay, so in C++, three methods are used to pass variables between function, that is pass variable by value and pass variable by address or reference. So in the first one, pass by value. So how you can pass the values of the variable from the calling function to the call function, right? So all the programs that you have seen till now is all pass by value and then return the value back to the main function like that. So in pass by value, a copy of one or more variable values, that is the actual arguments, right? So the actual variable values, that is the actual argument, is assigned to the receiving function, that is the calling function, or that is the formal parameters, right? The formal parameters, that means the variables which are accepting the actual arguments, right? So the copied values are stored in temporary memory locations. So the value, not the original value, but a copy of that original value of the actual arguments, okay, which is stored in another temporary memory location. So any changes made to the arguments, that is the values, by the formal parameters or by the formal variables in the function definition body does not affect the actual parameter. So any changes modified in the values in the function definition section or the call function, okay, will not affect the original values which are stored in the original variable or actual variable, right? So let's see an example, a program to demonstrate pass by value. So you can see here that three variables a, b, c and declared. A and b are initialized, assigned the value 3 and 5. They are all of integer type. So here c equals to sum a comma b. So here this is the calling function. So this calling function is passing the values of a and b. So this is your local variable, and at the same time this is your actual variable. A and b are your actual variables, or the actual parameters. So here 3 and 5 are the values which are passed by this function sum within this parenthesis, using these variables or using these actual variables or actual parameters. So the values which are passed 3 and 5 are called as the actual arguments. So the actual arguments are passed to the call function. So this is the function definition section, and this is the call function, right? So here the you can see that the function, this is the function names are same, and the data type is also same, integer, but the variable names are different, because this is local variable, this is local variable within this function body. And if you write here a and b also, it won't matter, because as I said, this is local variable within this function body, and this is local variable within this function body. So the call function, what it does is that it is declaring the two variables to be used in this program, and it is by declaring this variable, it is able to receive the values that are passed by this calling function and receive in these variables. So these variables here, they are called as formal parameters, okay, or they are also called as formal variables. So now in pass by value, what happens is the calling function a and pass the actual arguments a and b, but not the original values 5 and 3, but a copy of these 5 and 3 and 5 is sent to these variables x and y. Clear? So after this formula gets executed, okay, uh, when the value of x and y is entered here, 3 plus 5 8, okay, it does not affect the original variables, nor does it changes the original value. Clear? So by this table you can understand that here the variables are a, b, x and y. So here the original, this is the actual variable, or let me just say the original variables, which is storing the original values or the actual arguments. So this is stored in memory location address, suppose like 10. Now actually this address is a random hexadecimal number. Okay, so I've just, for a pictorial diagram, I've just written here the address number. So here 1001, 1003. So the values are stored in this memory address location, so 3 and 5 here. Now what happens is, when this copy, or when the call function receives from the calling function, as I said, a copy of these values is passed, not the original values, right? So you can see that these values are copied to this x and y variable, but they are in different memory locations. So if any changes made to these variables or the values in here 3 and 5, it does not affect the original variables and the values here. Clear? So that is what is called as pass by value. Now in pass by reference, the address of the reference variable is copied into the formal parameter. Clear? So the address of the reference, so any changes to the parameter changes the actual argument. So if any changes is done to the parameter, that is the formal parameter, or in the function definition body, it will affect the actual argument values, and it will affect the actual parameters also. That means, since the actual parameters or the actual variables are storing the actual arguments, so any changes in the function definition section will affect the actual variable values. Okay, so this is denoted by an ampersand sign, that is this symbol. Okay, now what it does is, when I'm talking about reference variable, okay, it creates a reference variable in pass by reference, or an alias name of the actual variable. So if the actual variable is a, the alias name will be ampersand a. So this denotes that it is passed by reference. Clear? So before the variable a, we write down this ampersand symbol, so which means that this is an alias name or a duplicate name, or let's say a nickname, okay, of this variable, but of the same memory address. Okay, so I'll be explaining this with one pictorial diagram and one program. Okay, now as I've mentioned that in your textbook, it is written in the same line, pass by reference and pass by address also. Okay, but just to show you, there is a slight difference between this pass by reference and pass by address, which is also called as pass by pointer. Okay, or this can be called as call by reference, call by address, or call by pointer. So here in pass by address, the address of the actual variable, here you create a duplicate variable of this actual variable in the same memory location, right? So that duplicate variable also contains the same address of this actual variable. So any changes made in the function definition body will affect the original variable, because this alias name shares the same memory address of this actual variable. Okay, but here in pass by address, the address of the actual variable is copied to the receiving function. Okay, that is done by using this pointer. So both pass by reference and pass by variable, it will produce the similar result, only that in pass by address pointer, this star symbol will be used, okay, which points to the variable where the value is stored. So actually in pass by address, what happens is that this symbol is used before the variable, suppose like star a, asterisk a. Okay, so this asterisk a will store the address of that variable where the value is stored. So this pass by address is actually a pointer which points to the address of the actual of the variable where the value is stored. Okay, so any changes made by this pointer address, okay, it affects the actual variable also, and then the values also. So the values gets changed in the variable. So if suppose the variable stores the value 5, and once this is done, okay, the variable will not no longer store the value 5, but whatever is being stored by this, suppose like star a, will be that value only, right? So now a program to demonstrate pass by reference. So here you can see that the return type is void. This is the function name, and here you can see that it's declaring three variables a, b, and c, and this ampersand means pass by reference. So here in the main function you are declaring the variables x, y, and z, and assigning the values 1, 2, and 4. So these are the actual variables, and these are the actual arguments 1, 2, and 4. So now the calling function is passing the actual arguments 1, 2, and 4 using these variables, actual parameters, right? So what happens here when these values are passed here, okay, is this ampersand means you are passing a reference variable, okay. So this ampersand a is actually a reference or an alias name of this variable x, and this ampersand a is an alias name of this y. This ampersand c is an alias name of this variable z, okay. So when this formula gets executed, a star equals to 2, which means a equals to a into 2, okay, and b plus equals to 2 means b equals to b into 2. So the value will be passed 1, 2, and 4, and it will be executed here. Now when you when this value gets returned and when you run the cout, okay, then x equals to, okay, x. So it will not display 1, but it will display 2, which is a equals to 1, 2, right? So the value of a becomes 2 into 2. Wait, x is 1, right? So value of a will be 1 into 2, 2. Okay, so now a is storing the value of x, right? That's why, see here, this is supposed to be a local variable, right? And this is called here, but here the local variables here are x, y, and z. But here the cout statement is in this part of the program, in the main function program. So this is not related with this if this ampersand is not used, but directly after executing this program logic, okay, when the cout statement runs this goes this, okay, so x, what is stored in x, that is reference of a, right? So you can see that this is, since this is a reference variable of this x, so directly when this formula a equals to a plus a into 2 is executed, whatever value stored in a directly is gets displayed by this variable x, because this and this are same, as you can see in this table, okay. See, x, the reference of this x, or you can say the another name for x is this ampersand a, another name for y is this ampersand b, and another name for z is ampersand c. They are both sharing the same address, the reference address, okay. So the reference address and the actual variable address is this. So if any changes made by this reference variable, the values will also get affected in the original variable. So after this output, 2, 4, and 8 will be stored here, not 1, 2, and 4. Okay, so this passing values to a function is very important, okay, because it will be used in the later part of the program, okay, especially this pass by value also, okay. So try to understand this topic very nicely, all the three methods of passing the values to a function. All right, go through the program and try to understand that. All right, so if you have any doubts on that, you can ask.